Sunday, everyone. Happy afternoon, or wherever you are watching this. I always get a croaky throat every time I jump on, but I wanted to talk to you about how you can maintain composure or not let people get to you in a workplace bullying situation. And trust me, I have had to learn the hard way, because people, when they're wrong and when they're being inappropriate, it's really easy to get caught up in the moment, and you kind of get stuck on the fact that they're doing the wrong thing and it's not right. And so you kind of let your emotions get the best of you, and instead of knowing that you not reacting is going to have more of an impact on them, you kind of get caught up in a whirlwind, and then you're crying or you're upset or you're angry, and you're letting other people dictate your emotions and how you feel. So I think touching on a couple of different techniques that have worked for me over the years, and I think I have mentioned these in a couple of different videos in different contexts, but removing yourself from the situation, not in a nasty or kind of aggressive way, making sure that you just kind of excuse yourself from the situation and find a nice quiet spot so that you can collect your thoughts, do some deep breathing, and or even drinking some water. A lot of people have told me that over the years, when you drink some water, you have to physically calm down, because if you don't, you'll choke on your water. So that has actually worked for me in the past, and I have choked a couple of times because I was trying to fight it, but don't fight it. So that actually is a good technique. It sounds strange, but if you are in a bit of an overwhelming situation or a stressful situation, just drink some water and you'll actually be surprised at how quickly you can calm yourself down. I guess also in the heat of the moment, when people are saying negative things to you or really hurtful things to you, it's easy to kind of get caught up in them. But it's that old saying of what other people's opinion of you is none of your business. And it's actually really true if you can kind of let it go enough to realize their opinion really doesn't mean anything to you. They're one person, and there's so many people in this world. They really shouldn't have any any hold on you. And so if you can try your best to breathe through it, just let it wash over you, because you know you have friends and family that are in your corner, or they should be in your corner, or you have other people that you can put into your space so that you can have a support network that really are there for you. And I guess when they are maybe yelling at you, a lot of the times I did shut down, and instead of reacting, I was silent, and I just kind of get through the conversation as best I could. But I did notice the other person, they hated the fact that I didn't react, that I didn't give them the satisfaction of getting upset in front of them. So that's probably one of my other tips, is if you can possibly hold it in or get through the situation, as no matter how terrible and difficult this person is being, get through it as best you can, and then get out of there as fast as you can, because you do not want them to see that they've impacted you in any way. And then you usually go and find somewhere to cry and let it out, because I find that there's two ways of reacting to people. It's either by usually it's by anger, but anger has a way of coming out in either violence, verbal or physical, or you end up being upset. And I was always the person that was upset, because I was so angry and frustrated with the situation that people were putting me in, that instead of becoming an angry person, violent or physical, verbal, I used to let it out through emotion. And obviously that is the most professional and appropriate thing to do in a workplace. It's not always the best way for you mentally, so that's why you do have to let it out some way. And tears aren't unhealthy, they're actually quite healthy. So if you can get yourself into a safe space and have a bit of a cry, you actually feel so much better afterwards, provided you've got tissues and things like that to kind of help mop up all the liquid without getting gross. But that actually does help and it really did help me. And also, I'm also the type of person that I like to vent. It doesn't even really matter who I'm talking to. It could be a cardboard cutout, but I need to let out what I'm feeling and how I'm feeling. And almost you just need like someone that just kind of goes, yes, on the other end, whether you can kind of handle that without any responses, because you know that what's going on is wrong. You know what should and shouldn't be happening, but it is happening. So you just need to be able to let it out. And then that way it kind of lets out that steam so that you don't explode in the wrong place, and you can actually regroup and find your coping strategies or find a way to deal with this person. So that's kind of my tactic of how I deal with people. I generally will try and avoid the situation. In one of my previous workplace bullying situations, you would have seen me running the other way when someone who was bullying me came into the space that I was in. I would just strategically remove myself before any further words or damage could be kind of thrown my way. And I also used to leave the office or the space, my workspace, for lunch. So I found that really beneficial, providing the lizards weren't chasing me for my food. I got some exercise in there too, but it actually, some fresh air and some nature kind of helped me ground myself, and I was actually able to kind of get through the day. So that could be a good option for you. Even in the city, I know that we don't have a lot of parks to run around right in center in the city, wherever you may be working. But even if you can just get some sort of fresh air, or if you've got some greenery around, take a walk. It doesn't have to be a long time. Just get out and let your body kind of recharge. Even some sun, some vitamin D's does you the world of good. So that's another technique that you could use. You also, when you get home, you need to be able to debrief, or I don't know whether any of you enjoy kind of letting thoughts out in the shower, and then that way you can kind of, almost like visualize them going down the drain, so that you can enjoy the rest of your night, because work doesn't define you. You are there to make money, to be able to live. You're not there because you really love working. Unless you are, then that's fantastic, but obviously you need to find another alternative to deal with the situation if workplace bullying is plaguing you in a job that you do love. But I hope some of those can kind of help you find some ways to cope in your workplaces, because I fought against it for so long, but then I realized that I need to focus on me and how I'm reacting to the situation. And if you can kind of master that, you actually have won half the battle, because your reaction and the way that they can get to you is actually kind of why they do it. And there's other reasons as well, and a lot of them stem from their own issues and problems. But if you can manage your own reactions, and it takes a long time, trust me when I say that, because I have struggled with this for so many years, and it was only right at the end of that last workplace bullying situation where I was like, oh my god, all these people have been telling me all this stuff and they're so right. So I've kind of implemented that, and it worked, and I was able to get out, and I was able to navigate the situation, and really enjoyed the fact that my coping strategies and tactics really annoyed my bully. So if you can find ways, maybe don't toy with them, but if you can find ways that help you cope but don't give them any satisfaction and make them feel slightly uncomfortable, then that's a win in my book, and it should be a win for you. But I'll leave you with those coping strategies and techniques, and let me know if you have any others that you think really work for you, and I'd love to hear from you, some of you. But I will leave you for that for your Sunday. Any of you that are struggling and really dreading going to work tomorrow, please send me a message. I'm happy to give you any level of support, or even just you've got this, because you do. And workplaces don't define who you are. They are just workplaces. So don't give the bullies your energy, because it's yours. But I'll leave you with that. Have a great night. Thanks, guys. Bye.